Are you feeling unmotivated and you'd like to know how to motivate yourself? How do I motivate myself? So let's start. If you've got low energy, perhaps you keep pushing yourself to keep going, you're losing your confidence because it just feels like such an energy zapper, is learning how do you motivate yourself? Hello, Steph, how you going? This is something I see a fair bit. So in being able to motivate yourself, I think there's three really crucial ingredients. Is number one, you've got to have a really good vision of what it looks like moving forward in your personal life and in your professional life. Secondly, looking at the fear and what you do with that. And thirdly, your self-care. So I'm going to talk about those three areas today. So if we come back to the vision is the big picture of your life, and what does that look like? So if we look at the personal big picture, it's being able to really visualize, embody, imagine what your ideal life looks like. What do you do on the weekends? What do you do in the evenings? What does your day look like? What does your ideal day look like? And having a vision around that. Who are you spending it with? What are you doing? What are some of the interactions, the hobbies? And then in your professional world, what does that look like? Are you happy in the industry that you're in the work that you do, the people that you interact, the environment that you're in? It's really getting clear on what you want and being able to imagine what that is. So with a vision, often it's our beliefs that can stop us going for that vision. You know, I'm not allowed to honour my own needs first. I'm not good enough. There's hundreds of beliefs. It's really important when you have a vision, you're wanting to go for where you're going, but it is actually the beliefs that are holding you back. That is what is so effective in working with a coach, particularly because it's looking at your blind spots. You may have a few sessions where there isn't a lot coming up, but then you have one session where bang, you've nailed it. You have unraveled and really opened up a blind spot, and a blind spot can be stopping us from going for our vision and what we really want. So that's the first place. If you are unmotivated, it's getting a clear vision of what it looks like. When we're unmotivated, it is our body letting us know that we're not in alignment with our true calling, our true purpose, our true dream. It's often coming from the head up. And I know for me, if I'm unmotivated, I've really got to ask myself quality questions and really recognize in the body what's happening for me, allowing it to be there, but then investigate, okay, why is this here? This is my body sending me out signals that I'm not aligned. I'm not aligned to my vision and what I'm really meant to be doing. And then lastly, being able to nurture yourself. It's not criticizing or judging yourself because you're unmotivated. It's being curious as to why you're unmotivated. So that's the first place that I want to talk into, is how to motivate yourself. So the first place is vision. The second place around how to motivate yourself is the fear. When we are unmotivated, sometimes we can have a fair bit of fear. And so it's, again, being curious. It's not judging yourself that fear's here, but it's slowing down enough to have a bit of an inquiry as to what is the fear. What is stopping me from moving forward? What is stopping me from making the decisions and the choices and the action steps to do what I really want to be doing? Fear just it puts the brakes on so many things. And again, it comes back to what you're believing about yourself. What could I be believing about myself? I know when my marriage was ending, I had some really strong beliefs around, I'd said I do. That was a belief that marriage is to last forever. And I said I do in the eyes of God and law and, friends and family. And so you stay in that marriage. I had another belief that, families don't break up. You don't break up. I'm breaking this family up. That was another belief. So all of these fears were stopping me from honouring what I actually needed to do to evolve. In my evolution, in my inner growth was what I needed to do, the next step moving forward. And it was fear that stopped me. And as I started to really peel back what was holding me back, a really big belief was I'm not allowed to honour my needs first. And questioning, what am I believing about myself? Why is fear here? Fear is here to really get us to question ourselves, to look inward. We spend a lot of time in our outside world. The inner world is the questions. What do I want? What am I willing to do to get what I want? Is there a price too high to get what I want? Keep coming back into that. What do I want? And then being able to allow whatever is here. Fear is not something to fear. Fear is something to have curiosity around, to have softness and do an inquiry. Journaling, really therapeutic way to be able to inquire about fear. Self-care. Self-care is crucial. How do you give from an empty cup? I am seeing this last couple of years particularly, burnout, fatigue, adrenal fatigue in 20-something-year-olds. I never used to see that because it's women particularly who are pushing and pushing and pushing in every single area of their life. So in their work life, in their personal relationship, in family life, just so many, wearing so many different hats, but not actually taking any downtime, any quiet time, any stillness. And little by little, your motivation for life begins to get less and less. The energy life force is kept alive and fed through living aligned to what your heart calling is, living aligned to what it is you really want to be doing. When we are doing tasks, and I get it if you have a young family, you're going to have to do a lot of tasks that you're not particularly going to want to, but it's just noticing how your body feels when you are unmotivated and really check in with yourself around your self-care. What are you doing to nurture yourself, to fill your cup back up? Sitting in the sun having a cup of tea and practicing mindfulness for 10 minutes is a great place to start. Being able to do stretches. Being able to really ask yourself quality questions as to what you need to have downtime to fill yourself back up. This will then help you with self-motivation and help you with really living aligned to how you want to be living. So in speaking into all of this, when we are struggling with low energy, when we are pushing ourselves, when perhaps our confidence is a bit lower than usual and we're not as motivated, start really looking at the big picture, the vision. We often have a push of pain and a pull of purpose. And what does that look like for you? And at the moment, it could be I'm raising children, so that's your purpose. Well, how do you be your best version of that? All of this is the inner work. and the quality of questions that you ask yourself. This is where I ramble on about having a journal and really having a deep, rich relationship with this journal and speaking into your inner world with this journal. So what's one action step that you can do today that is going to support you with your low energy, that's going to support you because you're pushing and it's starting to affect your confidence? Just one action step around perhaps your vision, around fear, or perhaps around self-care. Pick something, because by doing an authentic action, that is going to create some movement in energy, which is going to really lift your spirits and also help you with your thinking. Because the reality is our thinking creates our results. So if you can do something different, your thinking is then going to change. So look, I really hope you've taken something away from this. I'm going to love you and leave you. And I'll see you next week. See ya.